I'm really looking forward for this class to happen. So for this class, I'm gonna start with a little bit of warm-up, which means I'm just gonna practice a little bit of fillers and the most used motifs for bridal henna. So I'm gonna straight away start with the design on my sheet I have here. So if anybody has any doubt, or if you want me to stop if I'm too fast, you can straight away send me the text in the chat window which you already have, so I could guide you along with me as well. So let's get it started. For now, I'm just going to start with the basic henna motif and the fillings used inside. So I'm going to focus my cam towards my sheet, so I hope everybody can see the sheets clearly. So if you have any problem or something, just send me a message. So first design, I'm gonna start with a basic motif which they use in bridal henna. Like, you can apply that motif either on the back of your hand or at the back. So let me get it started. So for this, for bridal henna, I always use two cones. If you see it, one with the thicker end and the other one with a thinner end. So I use the thicker one to do the outline and use the smaller one to do the fillings. So I'm gonna first start doing the outline. So you need to do a circle, an outline at the top of it. So for this one, we can do any fillings inside. For this, I'm gonna do lines now. So you can draw the lines. You can also use checks and some of the fillers I've given you in the templates, which I hope you would have got. So now you need to create the petals outside this. So for this, I'm gonna use this pattern. I think everybody would be very familiar with this pattern because it's one of the most used petal in almost all the henna designs. On top of this, you're gonna keep a dot on each of the petals. Please stop me if I'm too fast because I just get carried away at times. So just stop me if I'm too fast. You need to keep the dots on each of the petals. Now you need to outline them. I'm using a curvy outline to outline the dots. You can also use a big circle which goes like this to outline them. It's really up to you. Then on the top of this, what we are going to do is create an outline of another petal, which is basically you need to leave say about half an inch or say like 1 centimeter, and you need to draw this on the top of it again. When you're done with this, make sure you darken these outline. So the main purpose of doing this is to like make it more attractive. So you need to press your henna cone a bit harder, and when you do this you get a really thick outline which you need to do it here. So when you're done with this, go back to the cone with the smaller tip and start to draw lines inside. So draw the lines. Don't do it too like with so much of distance, or don't do it like very close, otherwise it's gonna look messy. So just leave enough amount of space between each line and start drawing the lines inside. After you're done with this one, you can leave it just like this, or if you want to add like more details to it, you could just keep a dot inside each of the petals. Make sure you do for each of the one. For example, like if this is one whole petal, just put one dot there. So like this you need to create dots for the whole of the petals. This one is done. So after this, what you need to do is, if you draw a line, outline this one with a thicker one, it's not gonna look good. So you're gonna do an outlining of this design with a thinner line. Usually brides want these kind of motifs on their back. Some get it done on their belly if they wear like a short jacket. So this is how it's done. So when you, for adding the finished touch, so what you need to do is, if you look here, you can see you need to create a paisley design in this one, small paisley designs this way. So you can see, start from here and make sure it ends in the same petal. So if you want to use any other patterns, you can also use this pattern, which is, sorry, you can also use this pattern, 2 dots and 1 dot on the top. Even this looks nice. So create 3 dots and 1 dot on the top. And paisley again. Yep. So this is one of the, just a minute, let me tilt the cam. So this is one of the intricate patterns. The basic patterns intricate. It's not intricate, it's simple, but it still looks like intricate because of the fillings you gave. So this is one pattern we can do. So I'm going to show you the next one, which is going to be paisley. Paisleys are one of the most important patterns when it comes to bridal henna. We're gonna do the same with paisley even. Sorry, I'm just checking if anybody has sent me any message in the chat window. So let's get it started. So for paisley, some find it easy to do it and some find it difficult to do it. So it's quite easy actually when you start from here. So this is how I do it. So start your paisley from this end. I'm using the cone with a thicker tip. Yeah. So we're gonna do the same pattern. So drag all the way here. Then create a swirl and bring this one back and join it. It's easy to do it like in one go if you do it, but just to show you, I need to stop different areas to show how it's done. So yep, the paisley is done. You need to even outline them inside. So as I told you, you can't do an outline with both the thicker end because it's not going to look good. So when you draw an outline with a thicker one, make sure you do the outline inside or outside, whatever is more convenient, with a thinner line. It's actually quite easy if you don't touch the surface when you do the henna, because when you touch the surface you tend to like drag it. So if you tilt your cone a little bit away from the surface, either it be the hand or if you're doing it on a sheet, just tilt a little bit from the space, and if you do it, you get like a perfect shape. So this is done. So I'm gonna start with the flower inside. So keep a dot. Hope you can see it. It's a bit small. Keep a dot and draw small petals like this inside. They call these petals bindi petals because they're in the shape of the bindis. So they call them bindi petals. So you need to create that one inside. Don't do it like too wide, otherwise you're gonna end up without any space for doing the fillings inside. So make sure you do it in the medium size, and you're gonna outline this. It's outlined. Now you need to start with your fillings from the top of the paisley. So it's just a simple swirl. It's just a simple swirl. So I'm gonna do another here. So it's like this and goes inside. So small swirls, but you need to do them very small inside because you won't have a space. So do the swirls inside. You can do swirls. So on the other side I'm going to show you how to do the other patterns as well. So from this side you can keep a dot and draw an outline there. So it's this way. Keep a dot and draw an outline. When it comes to fillings, you have quite a lot of options to choose from. So it doesn't mean you have to just get stuck with one pattern. So try using different fillings inside and see which one works the best. So you have created this one. So if you want it, you can also do another filling, which is basically, I'm going to show it to you here. So for example, if this is the box, if this is a pattern, you need to do the filling. Draw a thicker outline, a very thicker outline, and draw the petals in a very thin outline. For these things, for these patterns, you don't have to use a thicker cone because you can't keep changing the cones when you do like small patterns. So for these ones, you can give more pressure to your cone so you get a thicker outline, and you can start drawing the petals inside, above that in a smaller line. So a thicker line, and you need to draw the petals like very small. So this is how it's done. This is how you do it. So we can do it even here. Draw a thicker outline and do a thin outline here. It's done. So for example, just think that this pattern is over, like we're done with the fillings inside. Now we need to concentrate on the outer areas. For here, start with the petals. So I think everybody can see what kind of petals I'm using. It's the same as what I used in the previous pattern. So repeat this pattern throughout your motif. And just do one more pattern, and you need to leave this space free because you're going to create 3 leaves and you're going to do some fillings there. So for this one, use a cone, the bigger one, and draw the petals this way. So it's usually like this. It goes all the way till here. Make a curve. Just it's like a tide. So it goes down and you join this end to give it a sharper edge. So it's basically like this, if you see it. Yep. So you need to repeat this pattern here. So you've done it, and another one. And draw lines inside. For all these three, we're just gonna make a basic leaf pattern. So draw 2 lines inside. Each of the leaves, inside the leaves. Everybody has done till this one. After this, you're gonna do shading inside. It's not shading, you're just gonna draw lines inside. So start drawing lines. So for this one, even with the middle one, I'm gonna show you what else you can use inside these leaves instead of the normal lines. So inside this, what you can do is create swirls going this way. So I'll show you here. This is the line, sorry. This is the line. I think this is the line inside the leaf. So you're gonna create the normal swirl inside like this. And what you can do is close the layer this way. And draw an outline and cover this. So which is basically, for example, if this is the leaf, what you need to do is cover this one to cover the swirls on the top. And if you have an empty space on the sides, in this one it's smaller one, so you don't have any empty space. But if you are doing it on a bigger leaf and if you have space on the sides, simply fill in these ones with the henna. So if you look at it, you can see how the pattern has been made. So if you have a space, fill it with the henna, you'll have like a thicker border. And for these ones, you can, for these ones, you can just fill it normal and close it. So if anybody have any questions so far, please feel free to type on the chat window. I'll reply to you before we get to the next one. So you're gonna get with the next one. So I'm gonna keep this one away, and we're going to do work on the next one. So this pattern will be the final motif I'm gonna do for the bridal henna. So after this, I'll go to do the bridal henna in the henna templates. I've got some templates here. I'll do on these templates, so if you guys want, you could practice on your hands or practice on the templates if you got any. So I'm gonna go with the next motif. So this time I don't know, like for religious purposes, I know some people don't do peacocks or any of the henna motifs with some creatures inside, say for example like elephant, peacock, etc. So with this one I'm just gonna show you how to do the motif with the peacock. So if you want it, you can practice this one, otherwise it's fine. So for this one, this is a combination of peacock and a paisley design. So for this is a bit bigger design. For this one, create a circle and outline them. And create another circle. So take the thinner cone. You're drawing checks inside now. Just small checks. I'm going to show you on the separate side what I did there. So it's the circle, draw lines there. I think whoever is watching the video know how to do the check, but I'm just showing it here. Just start filling the boxes, leaving the one next to each other. So this is how you do it inside this one. So after you do that, you need to create the petals inside, but these ones are going to be a bit longer ones. So we're creating petals like this. Once when you're done with that, you need to take the thicker cone and start filling it inside. Start filling inside and you'll be done with this. After this one, you need to outline this pattern. After you've outlined this, you need to create 3 petals on each of the side, like bigger ones on the sides, on each side. 3 here and 3 here. Outline them again. On the top. I'm just gonna do a quick recap. I'm gonna draw circles inside, a smaller one, fill in checks, outline them, and draw a bigger circle, and draw a long petals inside, and complete the space inside with the henna fillings. And again you're gonna do an outline of this, 3 petals on each side, and outline them. So after this, draw a paisley. Make sure the paisley goes all the way till here, but stop it till here because this is where you're gonna create the head of the peacock. So you need to create it this way. So basically this is like you come all the way like you do for your paisley, but stop there and create the head of the peacock, and join this one with the other end. So the first thing when you do this one is create the beak of the peacock, which is like this. Say you're doing this triangle pattern. So for the beak of the peacock, curve the triangle pattern a little bit, you'll get the beak of the peacock, which is done here. Then you're gonna add some patterns on the top of peacock. So for this you need to create one swirl towards the side, one swirl towards the side, then a petal, a shorter one and a longer one. So swirl 2 petals and shade the petals inside. Again create a swirl here, a smaller swirl, then repeat the pattern, but this time you need to do the longer pattern first, and then you need to do the shorter pattern and finish off with another swirl. So for the rest of them you're going to complete it after you complete the other side. So here what you're going to do is do the same, draw a paisley and make a swirl. So you come all the way from here and end with the swirl. From the swirl you need to create a pattern like this. So if you see it, so from the dot of the swirl you're taking this one here and then going here. So this one has to come back to its place So we are going to have to take this all the way down here. For this one, we're going to do a quick petal on both the sides and fill them inside. So it's the same petal which you used here. So you're not gonna join them inside, but do it separately. And then again, two more petals, smaller than the previous one. Then you're gonna have to keep the dots, say about 4, 5, 6, and finish it off. For the fillings, let me come back to the peacock here. So between the paisley where we stopped and the head of the peacock, draw a line, 2 or 3 lines like this. Between these two, paisley and the head of the peacock, join them with 3 lines, and you could use this line and in a slanting way and keep a dot here. So what you're doing now is 3 lines, then you need to start doing the lines in cross. You're not going to do the same thing. After these 3 lines, you're going to do it this way, cross, and you're going to keep a dot which will look like the peacock's head, the eyes. For the rest of them, you can simply do a normal filling or a swirl, and on the top of the swirl you're going to do this pattern, the petal pattern. So you could also choose from one of the fillers which you got with you to do the fillings inside. So just to make it quick, I'm gonna do this pattern, which is swirl and the petal on the top. Peacocks are they're used in most of the Hindu weddings. For the henna, they use bride and groom, they use peacock, they use elephant, they use drums. It's a part of their culture, so they use these patterns there. So you're done with creating the fillings inside. So take your time. If you want to use another filling, you can do it at your time. So for these 3 boxes, you're going to make it simple. So on the 2 sides, draw the lines cross this way. So you're going to do this way, and on the top you're going to do this. I don't know if you could see it, so I'm just going to do the pattern here and show you. So you're going to do this here and do the cross sectioning here. So do this on the 2 ends of the 2 petals, leaving the middle one. And do the same here as well. And for this middle one, the pattern which you're going to create is a thicker line and a thin line, a thicker line and thin line on the top of each other. So you start with a thicker line in the beginning and do a thinner line. Start with a thicker line, do a thinner line and repeat the same. So we are done with this part. So for the lower area, what you're going to do is the same pattern as what you did here, because this is like the complete peacock's body, so you can't use different patterns on the top and on the bottom. So use the same patterns here, but on these edges you can create some different style by drawing a thicker line and draw a line here and draw lines inside, and you can keep a big dot. So this way you can add some designs to the tail of the peacock or whatsoever it's called. Here we still have to do these fillings. So for these ones we're just going to do the normal petal type like this. And keep dots on each of the petals. So what I basically did is, I'm sorry, hope you can see it now. Draw the petals and on top of each petals keep a dot. So when you have completed the lower portions of the peacock as well, so you'll get a complete peacock. Doesn't matter you need to use peacock in this motif, you also can use a paisley and create a design like this. So this one is done. These are the basics of the henna motif used in the bridal henna. Now we're going to go to the henna which we do it on our hands. I've got the templates here. I'm going to start with a smaller one. So I hope you can see it. Let me just fix my cam. It's a bit tilted. I'm sorry about it. I just need to fix the cam so that it focuses on the sheet. Oh my god. I'm really sorry for this. I hope it will work now. I think I've got the templates. Hope you can see the template here. I'm gonna put the rest of the templates away so it won't be of any disturbance. So these ones go to the other side. I've got the template. So this is for your right hand. This is for your right hand. So I'm just going to tilt a little bit. Sorry, just excuse me for a moment. Yeah, I hope you can see it now. So this is the right side design and this is the left side design. Hope it's a little bit clear. I'm gonna start with a simple pattern used for the bridal henna. So if you have any questions, please post it on the chat window. I'll reply to you. Alright everyone, I'm sorry it just took a bit of time for me to fix the lighting. I'm gonna start with the henna, which is on the right, yeah, it's on the right hand template. So for a basic bridal henna, this is not like too big. Say it's still here, so these patterns can be used for hands, which if they need it like till here, you can use these patterns. So even here I'll go to henna with a thinner tip and a thicker tip and a thicker tip. So I'm gonna start drawing an outline here. Think this is your wrist, so from here till whatever it goes down is the rest of the pattern. So draw a line this way. Two lines. This is with a thicker tip cone. Now draw lines like this. And keep dots on the lines. This will create a bracelet pattern. You could also use this design for the back of your hand. On the back. After this, you're going to do the petals here. This one is commonly used, as you know. Do a double layer of these petals. After this, you're going to create a semicircle, not a complete circle. So just watch this. Draw a semicircle. And outline them again. For this one, I'm going to use checked fillings inside. Start creating the boxes and fill it with the checks. After you're done with the checks, leave say about 1 centimeter and draw an outline on the top of it again. Inside this, you're going to draw very small petals here. Hope you can see it. After the petals, you need to draw lines inside, close lines. After this, again outline the pattern with another line. So far you got a bracelet kind of design here. 2 lines, 2 petals, a semicircle with checks, and an outline say about like for 1 centimeter with the smaller petals and lines inside. On top of this, you're gonna create another bigger outline, say about 2 centimeter. This way. Inside, after you're done with this section, each say about 1 centimeter between each blocks. So this is how we do it. I'll show it to you. Leave 1 centimeter, draw 3 lines inside. Again leave 1 centimeter and draw 3 lines inside. Repeat the same for the rest of the fillings. So you created a pattern like this. So for this one, keep a dot and draw a semicircle on the top. Again keep a dot, draw a semicircle. And the rest of the space you're going to fill it with the fillings. If you can see it, you've created a dot, a semicircle on the top, and on the either side, if you have any space, do the fillings with the henna paste. So on this pattern, so leaving the next gap, the next one, you need to do the same pattern here, which I'm going to do it quick. And fill the space with the henna paste. For this one, you're going to create the crisscross lines. You can see it. You've created a pattern. So it is just one sample I've done it here. You can use any of the fillers I've provided you with, or your own one, and do the fillings inside. On top of this, draw another line. The main reason you outline the pattern is to make it more attractive. So if you don't draw a line on the top of any pattern, what usually happens is each design clamps with each other and you can't differentiate what the pattern is exactly. So this is done. On top of this, you're gonna create a double layer petals. After you're done with this, draw a bigger petal. I'll show to you how to do it. Like this. These are the typical bridal henna we used before. Now we've got different type of bridal traditional henna, like they do Arabic henna, they do Mughal patterns, but these ones are very typical. So you need to create petals on the top of this. And we're going to use any fillings inside. So before I do my own fillings, if anybody is interested, you can choose any one of these fillers and tell me which one you want me to do it, so I can show it on these petals inside. So just take a look at the fillers and tell me which one you need, or if you want me to just go ahead with my own patterns, I can do that. Yeah, it's in the templates. You got these ones along with the other henna templates. Mm, I think you need to just check because I think I've sent quite a lot of them. Alright, then I'll go ahead with my own patterns. So I think you people will get the fillers if you haven't got one in the next few minutes, I hope. So when I do the next pattern, you can choose from the fillers and tell me which one you want me to do it. And I will do it for you. Going back to the same petals, so this one we are going to use swirls inside. So this one we are using swirl, and the next one you can make a leaf pattern. Two lines in the center and do the rest of the lines on the sides. So do the same thing here, two swirls and leaf next to each other. draw an outline on the top of this one. So it's done till here. So this pattern is done till here. From here you're going to do the sectioning, which is one should bridge between the finger next to your toe, so not toe, sorry, your thumb. So for this finger you need to do the partition. So it starts from here and ends up till here, and it's the same one. For this side you need to do the partition to the finger which is next to the middle finger. So it's like this. You're creating a wider V. It's, if you could see it. So on the center of these fingers I'm going to create a unique designs. It's these three are going to be the same, and these two will have the fillings completely. So you're stopping this one with this. Because usually when you do bridal henna you cover these top areas with the henna completely. So based on that I'm gonna draw lines there. So we're going to work on these areas towards here. If you see the fillers, I think this is the pattern you would want to use. This is the pattern you'd want to use. Just tell me if it's right. I usually get confused with the numbers. Alright then. We are going to do this pattern. So this pattern is going to be all around here. So this is the pattern from the second row. Pattern from the second row, the fourth one. Before you start doing that, make sure you outline the sides, because if you don't outline them and straight away start using those patterns, it will all clamp together, as I said before. Do the outline this way. So draw a semicircle, thicker semicircle like this. I think I might just change my henna cone, it's too runny. So yeah, on the top of this thicker layer you need to do two thin layers. So if you could see it, a thicker line and on top of it two thinner line, and draw the usual petals we use in henna. On top of that you need to create a pattern like tomb. I'll do this pattern here separately so you can see it. It's like leaf. You just need to fill it inside. Just because you're doing it as a filling, you need to make sure you do it smaller. And outline them with two lines. A thicker line, two thinner lines, a usual petal pattern, and a leaf or tomb shaped, completely shaded, and close them with two lines. The common, it's not a problem, the common difficulty we usually get when doing this kind of henna is, if you see it here, a small space, you can't do a pattern inside that, you can't repeat the pattern what you did before. So in that case what we're going to do here is just draw lines. Even here we got it on the other side. You can draw lines, you can use petals, smaller petals. So if you see it, this space between these two spaces, there was like a very small space there, so I covered it with the lines. And repeat the same here. If you take typical traditional bridal henna, you get the same filling for almost all the designs because it's easier and the same time it looks good. If you use a different filling for different, like say for example if you're drawing a pattern on your arm and you used a different filling, you could use maximum up to 2 different fillings. But if you do like 4-5, you won't have any coordination with your designs. it has to look neat. Doesn't matter if it's repetitive. All it matters is how good it looks. So we are done with that filling which Jamila has requested for. So now I'm gonna get back to the finger design. So I think everybody must have got the finger template. So if you have a look at your template and tell me which template you'd want me to use on the fingers, I could do that. Please take your time and have a look at the finger designs and tell me which one you want it. You got 2 sheets of finger designs. So each one will have a name on it. I think it's Nisha and Ashok. So if you could tell me which one is it and which is the pattern, I could do the design for the fingers. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do the finger design, which is going to be on, sorry, which is the 11th page and the first one onto your right, the very first one onto your right. I think after I do the design you'll be able to see it. For this one, create a thicker line, a V shape, and a thin line on the top. Draw the petals, and inside you're just going to keep a dot. And here you're going to create a triangle. It's not a triangle, it's like 3 dots here, 3 dots, and it's the bindi kind of design going this way. So watch it. You're creating a thicker line here, a thin line on the top, and petal on the top of it. Three dots and a bindi design. I'll show it to you closer. I don't know if you could still see it. Have a look. This is the thicker line, a thinner line on the top, the petal with dots inside, and 3 dots, and you need to drag it down. Sorry. Do the same for the middle finger. Three dots and a kumkum or bindi, whatever it's called. So this pattern is done for the middle finger. For the middle finger, I'm gonna choose another design from the finger template and do it for the rest of the fingers. For this one, I'm going to use the design from the page 11 on the second row. The third design. I'll do it. I think you'll be able to get the design after I do it here. 2 lines, then draw a wider petals, not a closed one, draw a wider petals, keep dots inside, and then again cover them up with an outline. So here you're going to do this pattern, a line and dot on the top. So 2 lines here, dot, an outline again, repeat this for the rest of your designs. So I think you would have got roughly which design I did. It's on the page 11. It's on the page 11, second row, the third pattern. Repeat the same thing here as well. I'm going to do it quick so that we can move on to the next pattern, which is going to be more intricate. So here you don't have a space, so just join lines to the top. So this is one of the basic bridal henna. I think, hope you all can see it. All can see it. You could use different fillers, different finger designs, and create your own design. It doesn't matter if you need to use the design from the books. You can create your own designs. So this one is over. The next one we're going to move to a heavier pattern, which is a template. This way, to this template. If you want to do any of the design from the templates I were provided, I can do that. Otherwise, if you want to learn any other design from the book, I can show it on a new template, including the outlining and fillings inside. Please just type in the chat box whatever you need. Sorry, I'll repeat it once again. I've got two templates here. This is the first one. So if you want me to do this pattern, I can show you how to do this. Also, I have another pattern, which is this. This is more intricate, but this has more filling, but it's contemporary bridal henna. If you want any of these designs to be shown now, we can ask me, I can do it for you. Otherwise, I could use my own design and teach you how to do an intricate henna. Alright, let me try to focus my hand in the cam. So if it works well, I will go ahead with showing it on my arm. If not, I need to do it on the template. Because I don't have any henna model here. I don't know if this one will work. If you could see my hand properly, I can just go ahead with doing the henna. I'm going to draw a pattern, just like a small pattern. If it's clear, I wouldn't mind doing it on the arm. Just have a look and tell me if it's clear, if it's clear enough. So one is okay with me doing it on my arm. So the rest of them, if you want me to do it on the arm, I can go ahead. Otherwise, I can do it on the template. Just please feel free to tell me whatever it is. Alright, then I'll just go ahead with the arm. So, but before that, I would just like to take a 5-minute break, wash this one off, and get the templates and other stuff to start with this one. So even you can go and do if you have any requirements in the next 5 minutes. So I'll meet you guys all in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So it depends like what time is convenient for you. I'll be back here after 5 minutes. So I'll start with this design on my arm when everyone is here. Yeah, coffee break, anything is fine. Just go ahead, relax, and come back we'll go ahead with this one and finish off. Alright then, see you guys after 5 to 10 minutes. Hope you liked the class so far. If you still have any changes to be made or anything, just feel free to post it on the chat window. I'll do my best to meet your requirements. Anyway, see you guys in the next 5 to 10 minutes. For now, bye bye, and I'll meet you guys in the next 10 minutes. Yeah, see ya, bye bye.